Quite a match here this afternoon at Penrith Park before a near-capacity crowd. In fact, they started to queue as early as 8:30 this morning, eagerly anticipating the outcome of this match. The Panthers will be out to avenge their 20-18 loss to the Broncos when they met in round 2 at Lang Park back on March 12. But now let's take you to all the action of the highlights between Penrith and Brisbane.
That's Brett LeMay with it now, getting up to play it. Walters is the dummy half. He'll work it around the open side. There's Dowling charging up the centre. Simmons coming at him, and also getting over the top there will be Mark Geyer, this big fellow who we've got such an opinion of. He played particularly well, but there's another penalty. He played particularly well in that first match against the Broncos in Lang Park. They had a lot of trouble handling the big fellow that night.
Yes, he's been in particularly good form. He was selected in the President's 13 to play Great Britain last Tuesday afternoon. But on this occasion, we get a penalty, this time going to the Broncos for interfering in the play of the ball. There it is, 3 players coming over the top. Jeff Gerard playing in the front row in the absence of Peter Kelly, who's still out injured, not getting off quickly enough for Brian Grant's liking. The second penalty of the Broncos, and chance for Madison to add 2 points.
What a tremendous atmosphere out here today. The crowd really got wound up with the reserve grade, which I might point out was won by Penrith here this afternoon. They led by, or rather the Broncos led by 16-14 at half-time, but full-time score Penrith 30 and the Brisbane Broncos 20. That's the reserve grade match. And also we'll tell you about that other one, the earlier match, very shortly. Just wait for the kick by Madison. No doubt about it, straight through the centre, so the Broncos open up an early lead here at Penrith Park of 2 points to nil. Jeff Gerard is having a birthday today. No doubt he'd like to celebrate with a win. That's his other front rower, Matt Goodwin, taking it up. Goodwin getting to 25 metres from the Broncos line. Eventually driven back a little bit as 3 of them came in. Walters, Dowling and also Tessman. Simmons away from dummy half. Another penalty now to Penrith.
Well, he's going to be very severe on it. The players really losing a little bit of concentration. They should have been very quick to get back and line up with Grant. There's Andrew Tessman calling for a little bit of tape around the boot. Looked to me like he and also, look, Brett LeMay. Now he's standing a good metre and a half in front of Brian Grant. He doesn't go for him though. He penalises, I think, Kerrod Walters and also Tessman, who was a bit late back on the scene. Comes right over in front of the sticks, well actually to the left-hand side of the post. And a pretty easy shot for Neil Baker.
So here's Baker. The crowd will let you know what the decision is. There it goes, no doubt about it. So that levels it up. Penrith and the Brisbane Broncos, 2 points all here at Penrith Park.
Roy Simmons is the captain up front. He's been a great leader of these backs, young Penrith backs. Here's a good break upfield. Tremendous pace by Smith. He got away from Duffy. It's got away from Hancock. Smith still going. Alexander, but the cover's there. And he's into touch. But, oh dear, that was a close thing for the Brisbane Broncos.
Paul Smith straight up the middle of the ruck, showing great pace. He went through a gap and then cut to the right-hand side. Ultimately ran into a bit of trouble. There he is, straight up the middle of the ruck. No one wanting to tackle him. Then he cuts away from Duffy, searches out onto the right-hand side.
Kilroy, yes!
No try.
No try.
Judge has got his flag up. It'll be great to see on replay. Joe did valiantly well to get that close to the try. I think he actually planted the ball over the try line, but the touch judge said he was in touch. Teevan did well after a good pass from Andrew Tessman. Joe Kilroy bumps away firstly, then gets the ball down. The touch judge decided his feet were across the touchline first. Loose head and feed to the Panthers. Duffy certainly come from the field. He's in a very sorry condition.
Craig Roth also warming up. He's coming on as well. Touch judge has been reported. There's the attempt to drop goal.
No goal. Just to the left-hand side of the uprights.
Neil Baker trying to attempt his 4th field goal of the season, or the 4th successful one.
What a critical period in the game this has been. 11 men, the Broncos. Let's have a look at it. Oh, and he just shaved the upright.
It's been a gutsy performance by the Broncos in defence. They've done most of the defending. Now it's hard, and that's when they look going to have taken high by Miles. The referee says around the shoulders. But 90% of the crowd disagreed.
1999.
Here's a chance. Miles! Rolling for the line. Can Gene Miles pick it up and score? Yes, he does!
It's a fair try. He's going to award it.
Well, that's what we spoke about, David. They've done all the defending. I said a try could be the bonus, and it has been. The Broncos will go to the lead, go to the half-time break with a very handy lead.
Wow.
There's the hooter.
What a try that was against the runner play. Penrith just relaxed slightly. Only seconds remaining. And there, Alexander, through what was a silly pass, went on the ground. Miles in there behind enemy lines. He toes it forward. And now he had to decide, as it was getting near the try line, whether to put the toe to it again or whether to pick it up. Look at him pick it up on the volley. Bang, half volley, bang, straight over. Great hands from Gene Miles.
He's kicked it, so the players go to half-time with Brisbane leading by 8 points to 2, with the try coming in the final 30 seconds by Gene Miles.
Walters. Langer. Penrith getting up fairly swiftly. This is French trying to find a way up the centre. Played forward.
That's silly play from Gary French. Mark Guy, the biggest fellow in the field. You can't exactly think he's not in front of you. French got up to play it forward, and Guy was standing directly in front of him. Good tackle, that one, to bring French down. Guy gets there in position to mark him. French wasn't really concentrating at all, and a simple penalty gain to the Panthers. Neil Baker right in front, some 35 metres out.
A vital kick coming up. You can see it coming straight towards us. There it goes, on its way. Looks okay to me. It certainly is. So that's another 2 points on the board. The Broncos leading Penrith by 8 points to 4. Big Guy was there. He was the one I would have been worried about a bit. Would have the strength to throw him into touch. Now, Duffy's hurt in the tackle.
Well, he was injured in the first half. Brian Grant asking for one of the other players, Kerrod Walters, to play the ball for him. If Duffy has had another head knock, there's no doubt he'll be replaced.
Yep.
And Kenny Ra calling immediately for assistance. As we see now, Shane Duffy leaving the field to a generous applause from the crowd.
Walters getting it back to Miles. Miles himself round the corner to Testman. He's down. Can he get it down? I think he can.
No, he's called. He's going to ask the touch judge here what happened. Look at this. Guy comes around and crunch right on the chops. How he still held the ball, Testman, I'll never know. Finally grounds the ball. Must be a try for mine. Let's have a look at it. Surely he's not only going to give a penalty.
About to move in, Terry Madison. It's on its way. It's away to the right-hand side of the uprights. It'll be back into the in-goal area. Can Penrith get it out? Yes. No. Force back, I'd say yes.
This is the fifth tackle.
Alexander ran to the advantage line, the little grubber kick. It's a Broncos ball.
And a penalty. I think he's found a penalty for obstruction on Alexander.
Baker registers one down, but it's been paid. So Neil Baker brings up his 99th point of the season, and the Broncos lead by 8 points to 6. Alexander, nowhere to go. Yes, he's found an opening. It closed very quickly, though.
2.5 minutes.
And the test now.
And a penalty. A penalty. Well, Penrith will have a shot for 2 points here.
Neil Baker with a chance to bring the Panthers back on level terms. Moves in. It's got the distance, but he's missed it. There it is. The hooter.
Must call it off. It's off. That's it. It's over. It's all over.
Well, vital 2 points for the Brisbane Broncos. They led by 8 to 2. They have won by 8 points to 6. The fans aren't happy, but I'm sure Wayne Bennett and the Brisbane Broncos, minus Wally Lewis today, a very vital win indeed.